Yeah, so my name is Shong. I'm the current director of Esports Operations at Grand Canyon University in Phoenix, Arizona. Yeah, absolutely. So part of our, I'll say, recruiting process for every single player that comes in is an interview with me, mom and dad, and student, alongside obviously the coach that we have. And that exists for me to kind of get a feel for character and background, right? So every single student that we have, I give a green check mark on character. Having a great, shooter in game is awesome and could contribute greatly to me having a trophy at the end of the year, right? But I'm not super concerned with trophies. I'm not super concerned with championships that nobody's going to be talking about 50 years from now. I'm more concerned with what's going on for these students and what people are going to be saying about them 50 years from now, right? So for me, it's more about making sure that every single student we have as part of our programs is a student of character, because when they get here and if they're not, it's very clear from me and all the way down that they won't be here very long, right? You either literally get with the program in terms of character, or you won't be in the scholarship player position for very long, because and I'm very clear about it now, do not put up with it in any way, shape, or form. For us, I think the biggest difference in how we kind of approach competition to begin with is that we are all here for, sending our players to the next level, right? And in any way we can support our players in that, we absolutely 100% do. But something I'm clear about with all of our players, with their families, with our community here, right, is just like in traditional sports, 0.01% goes to that top level of play, right? So there's a very high chance that a lot of the students that we have here are not going to move on and play for, the top esports organizations in the world or in the country or wherever, right? Just because there's a very finite amount of those positions. And truth be told, just like in traditional sports, for a lot of these students, if they were going to be in that position, they would likely already be in that position, right? So for me, what we focus on with these students here is turning them into people of character, not just players of character, right? So for us, I'm looking at taking the student who may not go off and play for, Cloud9 Valorant, but maybe they do go off and become the player manager for Cloud9 Valorant, right? Now they're imbuing some of their character knowledge onto different players or different young people, right? Or wherever they go, they might have an opportunity to kind of imbue knowledge on younger people. So the way that I look at a lot of the ways that we handle our players is instilling character in them. And I think by doing that, or in doing that, we have to kind of give them life skills that are important and again that are kind of conducive to the long-term success of themselves and also other people. And I, coming from traditional sports, believe health to be one of those things, right? One of those life skills that can contribute to your long-term success. For us, we look at health and wellness as exactly that. I like I kind of mentioned a second ago, had kind of a rough patch after I left Mississippi State. I know that kind of emotional awareness and emotional intelligence and paying attention to my mental well-being was a very big success for me in that path, right? Was something that had I not had emotional intelligence, emotional awareness, and taken that seriously on my side, maybe I wouldn't be here in this position, right? So I take it seriously because of my past. And like I said, on the physical health side of things, I just know that if my body wasn't working the way that it needs to because of what I eat or because of how I move in terms of the gym and things like that, in terms of activity, I may not be as successful as I am right now, right? So I try to tell our students the same thing and allow them to have the same tools. So at the end of their Valorant career or whatever game it is, right, they're not just video game players at the end of the day, right? They know how to take care of their body. They know how to take care of their brain, and that will take them further in life than being a great Valorant player, right? So we look at it as kind of a holistic approach for our players as students and people, not just as, like I said, Valorant players or collegiate esports players. For me, I'll say my biggest, tool and success factor I have as a leader is I know a lot, right? But I also know what I don't know. And I know when I need help, and I know to reach out when I need help, right? So when I kind of started looking into this thing that GCU was interested in, GCU Esports was interested in, I stumbled upon Fit Gamer and the ways that you guys were helping programs like ours start initiatives like this, right? So we reached out, started working with you guys on the curriculum side of things, right? We brought in 9th to 12th graders for a week-long camp alongside what we already have on campus called our Gen Cybersecurity Camp. And what we did was we took the first part of the week and we did focused instruction through the curriculum. And then we did a tournament following that. And we also baked in kind of some physical stretches and some mental wellness and health tricks and things like that through the instruction. And the students absolutely loved it. I truthfully was completely surprised. I kind of figured that after a full day of getting taught about cybersecurity, the students wouldn't necessarily want to come in and learn about why stretching is important and why, what the Rocket League strategies are, right? I figured they just kind of want to come into the nice, shiny gaming, facility and just play games, right? But every student loved it. Our coaches were impressed with the curriculum. They were impressed with the reception of the health and wellness parts from the students. And like I said, I at the bottom of it am impressed by everybody's impression, you know. But even when we're dropping off kids at the end of the day to parents, they have no idea what esports hardly even is, right? But then you tell them, not only are the kids learning about esports kind of on a professional level, you know, in terms of gameplay, but we're also educating them on how to take care of their bodies and, you know, what to drink and what not to drink and how important sleep is and things like that. So for us, we're kind of blowing everyone out of the water and showing them not what esports is, but also what it can be, right? So for us, it was a great success and something that we're going to look to replicate in the years to come, because like I said, it was something I knew was going to work out, but even I, having the high expectations that I did, I was still completely blown away by the reception from the students, parents, and even our coaches. It's a top-down human approach. I think it's one thing to come and say, hey guys, we're going to take mental health seriously and we're going to take physical health seriously, but it's another thing to kind of come out the gate and talk to your students like a human and try to understand why they don't think it's important and why they haven't gained that understanding to this point, and kind of break down those walls and break down those barriers and helping them understand why these things are important and why they haven't been talked about up to this point. So like I said, I think it's a top-down leadership thing of leading by example and also being a human in the way that you have conversations. Well played.